Alright, so I just got home. I was planning on doing this out here, but I don't know if you can see, but it's like super wet and rainy. So I don't think I'm gonna. Alright. So, anyways, well, that whole thing was quite the show. More of a show than it was like an actual good vote. But it was a really good vote. And I'll kind of explain why I think so. Uh, well, first of all, I hate that B&Q went and called me out as being a snake on the way out. Wasn't my fault. I don't know what I was supposed to do. Personally, I think that based on all the information that I have gotten, and I keep putting my finger in front of the thing, that I actually think that vote was 100% the right thing to do. So basically, I had a call with Desert, and he was like, "I think we can actually get this vote on B&Q. I think that's the right thing to do." I then told him I had the idol, just to kind of be like, if you're even considering doing this, whatever. Bean wanted to do a 3 votes on Desert, whatever their 3 votes would be, which she figured would be on me, and me to throw a hinky on Dag just in case we had 6 and 6 or 3 and 3 of all 6 of those votes taken out. It was actually a good thought process by her, because if they were actually voting for me, then that could have worked. The problem is that Nick also didn't want to vote for myself or Desert. Nick, I think, wants Desert in. I think we're kind of still doing the meat shield strategy. The problem is we've had too much meat get out of the game, with Mike and Rye going back to back, and really with, Lisa, Mike, and Rye being 3 of the last 4 votes. So I think that's really where people were, more or less looking at it, or he was at least. So I tried to tell Bean this. I sent her a message like right before I went to bed. I said, "Listen, I think people are telling you they're voting for me when really they're voting for B&Q." Now I believed that Dag would vote for me because the game is happening around Dag. Like, he has like no control over anything that's going on, and people just kind of do things. It's very similar to actually how Gribble was in Voyages. People are just kind of doing things, and like where he goes, it's almost like it doesn't even matter. And not to crap on him too much, it's just, when he comes to me and is like, "I got you to flush your idol," and I'm like, "Bro, this was the only time I could even play it, and I didn't even need it. Like, if this idol didn't expire now, I would not have played it." I knew for a fact that I was only getting maybe 1 vote. I actually knew that because I knew that B&Q this morning was voting for Desert. I knew that Bean from last night was voting for Desert. I knew that Desert and Nick were voting for B&Q. And when I told Lisbon I had the idol, I could tell Lisbon was like, "Yes, this is what I want to do." So that a 3-2-1-1 vote was 100% happening as of 20 minutes before the vote. If I didn't have to play my idol there, I would not have. So whatever. The reason why this was a good vote is also on that VC is Desert told me that they had a 5-person alliance that did not include me and him. So what my concern would be is that if Desert or Dag went this round, then even though Nick has that vote block, Bean and B&Q are going to work to get to the end together. So if that means that Bean, B&Q, Nick, Lisbon, and Dag got together to go against me and Nick, that's what they would have done, no matter the vote block. But now that B&Q is out, Bean has to work with us. The vote block is still going to come into play, and we're going to be able to make it to top 5. And that is where I think the game gets the hardest for me, because I think the only way I can make it to 4 is if I basically convince them that I can't win final immunity. Which is why I think at 5, no matter what happens here, be it Dag or Lisbon at 6, I kind of think Nick has to be the one out at, I don't know, or maybe Desert. Actually, no, I think it has to be Desert. I think Desert has to be out at 6 or 5, because I think I could potentially convince Lisbon and Bean or Dag that Nick will be a 2-time winner of this series if they take me out. That, like, they have a better chance of going up against me, who has burned some of the jury, than going up against Nick, who's not burned any of the jury and has actually played this second. I actually am worried that I would lose to Nick, to be honest. I don't want Nick near the finals. The problem is that people think they can beat Desert. So that's why I think this vote with the vote block, if it can be Desert, then I think that I can still make 5 Nick. And then at that point, that's when I either have to win final immunity, or the only other thing that I can take my chance on is if I can get someone not Nick out, get Nick into the final immunity challenge, and someone else win it. But that is such a big gamble. And I think I'd almost rather take that maybe I could win a challenge over letting Nick potentially get to the end. Now, do I think I could potentially beat Nick? I don't know. But again, I mean, we're still 3 votes away. And as crazy as it sounds, it is the end game. But I think there's, like Lisbon said, there's a lot of work to be done. Now, the last thing I will say is I don't necessarily know how much work needs to be done for some of the people that are definitely getting to the final. I think either Dag or Bean will definitely get to the final. One of them, if not both of them. So there's not really a whole lot of work. I don't really think there's a whole lot that, like, Dag can probably do, or maybe even Bean can probably do to win. It's so late in the game that, like, if I go, Nick goes, and Desert goes, it's going to be like, well, I mean, those were status quo votes at the end. Like, you didn't really make the moves. You just took out the big... Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand. You do have to take risks. And that's why when people are like, oh, you're stupid, you took out Lisa. Oh, you're dumb, you took out Mike. Like, you have to take risks a little early in the game to show that, like, you're a front runner. If you do the thing where you just do status quo votes and hope that you're the better of the options, I mean, it's just, it works sometimes for people, but, you know, I don't know. I have a hard time playing like that. And especially if, like, people are calling you a GOAT for round after round after round after round, man, it really doesn't matter what you do. If you just do status quo votes and you take absolutely no risks at all, then, I mean, that label is never coming off of you. So, anyways, it sucks. B&Q, if you're watching this, I meant all the personal stuff that I meant. I think B&Q is awesome. I am so glad we met each other. I think he is hilarious. I think he played this game really hard. I think that he is, like, really, actually really good at the game. A lot better than he thinks that he is. And, I mean, he went because he was a threat, and because, again, right now, we're not really looking at who's a threat and who's not. I'm looking at how do I get to the end. And not letting Bean have her B&Q option is how I get to at least 5, probably 4, and then we'll see. So, I mean, I was terrified that, like, I'm the big move at 6. If like, B&Q wanted to take Desert out and then me. B&Q is gone. Me and Desert are still in the game. We're still the front runners to be the biggest threats. But you know what? So is Nick. So... Anyways, it was crazy. It sucks that I had to burn that idol. The real last thing I'll say is I wish I would have wasted my. I would have done it. I would have changed my vote because I thought that because of with the way B&Q is playing and because of all this other stuff, I thought it was possible that I absolutely needed my vote here, but I didn't need it, and so I really wish I would have just taken the gambled my vote. If I go one more round on my idol, I could sit on it here and then play it at 6, and that would have been so great. But, anyways, I'm gonna finish my Zaxby's, and we're gonna try and finish this game and finish it strong.